You're watching Drive Depth, where we go further to bring you the real-world depth behind every drive. If you're into electric cars, SUVs, and everything that moves you forward, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you don't miss what's next. Now, let's talk about something Subaru has been working on quietly but meaningfully, the 2026 Subaru Solterra. If you're someone who loves Subaru's all-wheel drive confidence but also wants to step into the EV world, this one's going to catch your attention. At first glance, the 2026 Solterra doesn't look radically different from the 2025 model, but that's not a bad thing. Subaru has leaned into a sleek, aerodynamic design that feels both familiar and futuristic. The front fascia gets a slight redesign with a more aggressive stance, while the new lighting signature helps it stand out in a crowd of EVs trying to look like spaceships. Subaru fans will be happy to know that this car still has symmetrical all-wheel drive, yes, even in an EV. That's something that really sets the Solterra apart from many of its competitors. While others are adding AWD as a feature, Subaru is building it into the DNA. The 2026 model continues that legacy, but with better torque vectoring and improved traction control, especially in off-road or snowy conditions. Let's talk power. Under the floor, you're still getting the dual-motor setup, but Subaru has tweaked the output slightly, now delivering around 225 horsepower and just over 250 pound-feet of torque. It's not a Tesla fighter in terms of speed, but that's not the point. It's about balance, control, and efficiency. And speaking of efficiency, the battery gets a major upgrade in 2026. Subaru has improved range to an estimated 300 miles on a full charge. That's about a 30-mile bump from the outgoing model. They've also worked on faster charging speeds, thanks to updated thermal management and 800-volt architecture. That means you can now go from 10 to 80% in around 25 minutes at a DC fast charger, assuming you can find one that supports it. On the inside, Subaru has made thoughtful improvements. The cabin still has that clean, practical layout, but everything feels more refined. The new center display is a 12.3-inch touchscreen with Subaru's upgraded infotainment system, supporting wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Physical buttons for climate control, thankfully, are still here, because Subaru knows its drivers prefer function over unnecessary touch panels. The materials feel a little more premium this time around. Subaru is using more eco-friendly fabrics and soft-touch surfaces, but without going overboard. The seats have better bolstering, and rear passengers will notice slightly more legroom thanks to a reshaped battery pack that allows for a flatter floor. Safety, as always with Subaru, is front and center. Eyesight has been enhanced yet again. The cameras are now higher resolution and have a wider field of view. Plus, Subaru has integrated lidar for the first time, which means more accurate detection of objects in low visibility conditions. You also get the usual suite of driver assists, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, blind spot detection, and now, hands-free driving in certain highway conditions, a first for Subaru. One cool addition in the 2026 model is the new Trail Mode. It works like a simplified version of crawl control, managing throttle and brakes for slow-speed off-road maneuvers. It's perfect for gravel roads, steep inclines, or even snow-packed driveways. Again, Subaru's not trying to make this a hardcore rock crawler, but they're giving you just enough confidence to take it where many EVs wouldn't dare. Pricing starts around $48,000 for the base model, which is slightly higher than before, but you're getting more tech, more range, and more refinement. Subaru has also promised that a version of the Solterra will qualify for at least a partial EV tax credit depending on where it's built, so keep an eye on that as more details emerge. So, what's the bottom line? The 2026 Subaru Solterra isn't trying to be a revolution. It's an evolution. One that carefully brings Subaru's trusted capabilities into the electric age without losing its soul. If you want a sensible, all-weather EV with real utility and Subaru dependability, this might just be the crossover to put on your shortlist. That's it for this deep dive on the 2026 Solterra. If you found it helpful, drop a like, share it with your Subaru curious friends, and let us know in the comments what you think. Is Subaru doing enough, or is it still playing catch-up? Thanks for watching Drive Depth, where we don't just look at the specs, we look at the story behind the drive. See you in the next one.